dit bon Dieu merci, n'a dit peuple Israël là merci tout à tout le monde qui t'a fait recherche sur coronavirus là parce que t'es gagné auparavant c'est pas année ça au gain tu as travaillé sur système là mais d'après recherche yo fait une connaît yo joine un vaccin yo pral essayer s'il marche sur coronavirus fin 2019 ou entre 2020 depuis le marché il a partagé la clé monde mais pour qu'on gagne confirmé mais gagne espoir yo bay nouvelle là m'a fait ça tout juste laver main les mains à gâteau si mon sale laver moi avant sur tout principe yo bay tout ça l'état partager ensemble avoir respecter principe yo pas fâcher pas bouder juste faut que nous inviter pour nous combattre la maladie ça il y a travail pour nous mais nous avons espoir pour que le coronavirus là suspende dans le pays là m'a fait une vidéo même là pas comprendre mais m'a montré au monde qui te fait recherche là et qui a vu joindre résultat et me croire son résultat mais c'est monde en Israël qui joint le résultat parce que vous avez 4 ans depuis que vous travaillez sur ça mais pas pour coronavirus ça t'es un premier qui bête qui te baillé c'était chameau bien quoi qui te baillé avec des trois autres bêtes encore qui te baillé mais il y a tout profité essayer vaccin ça depuis le marché dans le pays par yo et puis yo joint le résultat et puis nous-mêmes y a partagé la clé monde on nous suit toujours bien espoir dis mon Dieu merci et puis toujours laver main suspendre faute dans full monde bien espoir toujours on va suivre channel là Melki Pierre on va Melki Pierre me suivre là pour des nouvelles pour
Israel is a world leader in space. Proof of this was just recently with the Bereshit project, which made it to the moon, although sadly not exactly the way Israel would have wanted it to. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our next speaker, Israel's Minister of Science, Ophir Akunis.
Thank you, Yaakov. Shalom lachem. Tzoraim tovim, the leading members of the Jewish communities, the government officials, Sar Tzachi Hanegbi, my friend, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Shalom lekulam, and I heard that it's Father's Day, so happy Father's Day. I am so very glad to see you all today for the annual Jerusalem Post Conference. It has been 2 years since our last meeting right here. 2 years in which dramatic events took place throughout the world and in Israel particular. Actually, it's always interesting in Israel, as you know. Only 3 weeks ago, the Israeli parliament, the Knesset, voted to dissolve 1 month after it was sworn in, and now we hold new elections. Unbelievable. It happens despite the fact that the right-wing parties headed by Prime Minister Netanyahu won the majority just last April. So in September, a week and a half before Rosh Hashanah, we will hold totally unnecessary elections. I'm sure that this leads us to the exact same result, a victory for the right-wing parties, once again to be headed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Thank you. Well, to be honest with you, I know some countries just a little bigger than Israel, as Minister Hanegbi. They manage very well with only 2 big parties. I suppose that you know them from up close. The most important thing that happened in the last 2 years is that the alliance between the United States and Israel reached an all-time high. First, and above all, with the transfer of the American embassy from Tel Aviv, even though it's my city, to Jerusalem last spring. In the past, there were many promises from presidents and presidential candidates, but the fact is that only under President Trump's term the promise was fulfilled and fully realized. I recall being present when in the overwhelming and powerful ceremony, I could not believe it was happening. But it did. The huge American flag was raised above the beautiful building in the Arnona neighborhood in Jerusalem, and the sign saying U.S. Embassy was revealed to all. Today I can say, if I may, that the transfer of the embassy to Jerusalem is similar in its importance and significance as the American recognition of the State of Israel in 1948. But, my friends, it did not stop there. 3 months ago, the President signed an historic American recognition of Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights. I am pleased to report that, you can applaud him. I am pleased to report that a few hours ago, we kept our promise in which we call a new settlement in President Trump's name during the last cabinet meeting in the Golan Heights itself, only 2 or 3 hours ago. And I want to tell you something else. The Golan was ours thousands of years ago, long before the Syrian occupation there between 1948 and 1967. The third thing, and it was just recently, the U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mr. David Friedman, said what should have been obvious since forever, but was said only under this administration. Israel has the right to retain parts of Judea and Samaria, and I heard Jason Greenblatt said it as well 1 or 2 hours ago. The course has changed. From now on, we say no to withdrawals, yes to other initiatives. I would like to take this opportunity to thank President Trump and the entire administration. I thank you on behalf of all the citizens of Israel, all of them. Well, the transfer of the embassy to Jerusalem, the recognition of Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights, and other actions and declarations of President Trump are in complete accord with my worldview. The land of Israel is the homeland of the Jewish people. And I can add, the land of Israel, in its territorial integrity, is ours, and its capital is the complete and undivided Jerusalem. I can declare here and now, we shall never withdraw from any area of our ancient land. Not from Samaria, not from Judea, not from the Golan Heights, and we will never, never divide Jerusalem. By now, the whole world should realize that whenever Israel withdrew from a land, the peace was withdrawn as well. As we have seen time and time again, every withdrawal Israel did in an attempt for peace, all the Israeli citizens got back was terror, violence, and war. Well, that was the case after the signing the Oslo Agreement. That was the case after the withdrawal from southern Lebanon. And of course, as we can see, every day, this is the case after the poor disengagement plan that led to the constant firing of missiles, rockets, Molotov balloons, and drones from Gaza to Israel. Every day, setting fire to the lands of our citizens and terrorizing our children. The conclusion is that we need to stop with the failed formula of lands for peace. And we must start thinking outside the box and find new creative solutions to promote peace. The initiative to start process based on economic peace is excellent. We can dramatically improve both the Israeli and the Palestinians' life as well. But, unfortunately, the Palestinians always refuse and say no to any initiative like they did in the last 100 years. Yes, this is a fact. Well, I will say this loud and clear. The so-called settlements